It's very interesting that the film is coming out now because of what we are experiencing and seeing, with people being detained in the United States of America. And, it's kind of eerie listening to parts of the film where Brittney's describing her experience of, when she was detained and how she was being moved around from place to place.
Hey, it's Fran, and I'm here at the Vulture Spot with the team behind the Brittney Griner Story. Welcome. You've made a couple of films about athletes. I'm curious when you got into sports and what compels you about their story.
Well, I come from a family of athletes, and I was not gifted in the athletic department physically. So I guess I got into making stories, and doing documentary films about them. But when I was brought into BG's world, it was just really exciting to do a story about a goat of an athlete, but to also have this added layer of a lot of important things, to share about her.
Your experience is so harrowing, and you mentioned at the end of the doc that there's a lot happening in your life. Why did this feel like the time to tell this story?
It just felt right. I was healing and in the most critical part of it. So I felt like this was the best time to express it and show, get to see a lot of raw emotions. And I've always been a person where if I can use my experience to help somebody or shed light on a situation, I'm just going to choose myself to do that.
Being in the world of film, you have a little bit more control. How has it been to enter into being the subject of media in that way?
Definitely have a little bit more control. I'm not the most creative, so I just show up and do what I'm told. But it makes all the difference when you have somebody that you can really just trust and talk with, and it feels like family. Well, I think we kind of found out we are family.
Might be cousins.
Whoa,
We're from the same tiny town.
Yeah.
Whoa, small world.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about just the support that you felt during this time, both before and after what happened in Russia.
Yeah, I wouldn't have came home without the support. I wouldn't have got through it without the support. From the letters to my lawyer printing out pictures of people just, still waving in a photo. But I wouldn't have got through it without them, my team, my wife, the basketball community, just everyone pouring in love, pouring in support, working tirelessly and endlessly to get me back.
For both of you, if there's a vision of kind of the perfect WNBA or where you would want to see that league go so that it better serves its players and the families of players.
Yeah, a league where we can stay here and be able to provide for our families and not have to go abroad for 6 months out of the year. I had a lot of dealing with media. I've had a lot of backlash of, well, why are you in another country? Why don't you stay in your own country? I would love nothing more than to stay in my own country and be able to make a living and get the respect and the pay that we deserve, putting our bodies on the line, holding off having kids to be able to provide. It would make me so happy. And we're getting there and we're fighting for it and we're making strides. But that's the reason why a lot of people chose to go overseas, and that's why I chose to go over there.
What do you hope audiences take away from this film?
Wow. Well, I hope that audiences get to understand a lot about Brittney and a lot about her roots of, through her family, how important family is to the Griners, and her love for this country and her patriotism to this country, being an Olympian, and everything that she has endured and done, so that when you hear the story about the detainment, it's actually there's more context to it instead of just the sensational headlines that were very polarizing, during the time period. And I think on a bigger level, it's very interesting that the film is coming out now because of what we are experiencing and seeing, with people being detained in the United States of America. And, it's kind of eerie listening to parts of the film where Brittney's describing her experience of, when she was detained and how she was being moved around from place to place. And it's like, are we in Russia or where are we? So I hope that this becomes a part of a conversation.
I have a fun question for you. I'm 5'2". I'm never gonna dunk. I would love to know what it feels like to dunk.
Oh, I mean, it's fun. I'll say
Right,
that. It's
okay.
amazing. It's a little tiring to get
Okay.
a big body up in the air to dunk. Blocking shots a little bit better though.
Oh, good to know. Okay. Did you teach Alex any pointers? Did you guys play it all?
No,
Okay.
but I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay.
So no.
I'm sure we could find a goal somewhere.
Yeah. There's got to be a middle ground.
It would be hopeless.